I refused to marry my unfaithful fiancé, so her friends beat me up for it. But my revenge plan landed them in prison. Be me, 33, using throwaway account. Need to tell this story anonymously, because legal stuff still ongoing. Main account too easy to track. Can't believe this shit actually happened. What started as normal engagement turned into complete chaos. 3 people in state prison now, 2 on probation. My ex facing jail time. Her boyfriend probably getting disbarred. Feels like I'm writing a movie script or something. But this is real life. Let me give you some background. Met my ex-fiancée Lisa, not real name, 28, at this upscale sports bar I manage in San Diego. Yeah, managing a bar isn't fancy. But I actually love my job. Started as bartender after getting economics degree. Degree collecting dust, now LOL. Worked my way up though, now running one of the most successful locations in our chain. Great business. Amazing regular customers. Staff actually enjoys working here. Pretty rare in this industry. Lisa was this hotshot commercial property broker. One of those people who humble brags on LinkedIn about million-dollar deals every week. Came in one night with her old school friends. All super successful on paper. 2 corporate lawyers. 1 plastic surgeon. Investment banker. Chief marketing officer at big tech company. They were celebrating somethings. Dropped like $800 on drinks and food that night. Lisa kept coming back after that. Usually during my shifts. We clicked pretty fast. She loved my sense of humor. I was impressed by her ambition. Her friends were something else though. Looking back, should have seen the red flags. Always making these backhanded comments about my job. Oh, it's so nice that you're content where you are. Ever thought about getting into corporate management? But when you're falling for someone, you ignore that kind of stuff. You know how it goes. Things moved crazy fast after we started dating. Like really fast. She practically lived at my place after 3 months. Officially moved in together at 1-year mark. Had this nice 2-bedroom apartment. Modern building in downtown area. Not super luxurious. But had doorman and security cameras. Thank God for those cameras later. Apartment was in my name. Had better credit score. Been in building for few years already. Life was pretty good for a while. Lisa was crushing it in real estate. Making way more than double my salary. Her friends never let me forget that part. But we were actually happy. I was moving up at work too. Got promoted to general manager. Started training new managers at other locations. Our families got along great. Her parents were these sweet older folks. Treated me like their own son. My parents loved how ambitious she was. Last January, I decided to propose. Planned this whole weekend getaway. Booked mountain resort like 3 hours away. Set up private dinner by the lake. Old ring hidden in the dessert. Kinda cheesy, I know. But she always talked about wanting a story to tell people. She said yes, obviously. Spent whole week celebrating. Started planning the wedding right away. Aiming for November that year. Wanted to do it before winter. But after peak wedding season, when everything's expensive, her parents offered to pay for most of it. Super generous of them. Put down like $40,000 in deposits. Fancy venue. Catering. Flowers. All that stuff. Remember this part. It becomes important later. That's when things started getting weird. Lisa's friend group suddenly had to control everything. And I mean literally everything about the wedding. Color scheme needed their approval. Menu had to fit all their dietary preferences. Seating chart had to ensure they got the best table. It was exhausting if their comments about my job got worse too. Lisa, are you sure you want the wedding at 6 p.m.? Won't Anon have to work? Maybe we should do wedding dress shopping on Tuesday. Since that's probably a slow night at a sports bar, just constant little jabs. Lisa never defended me. She'd either laugh along, or worse, agree with them. Started noticing other changes too. Lisa working later and later. Always had these emergency property viewings, popping up at weird times. Changed her phone password. Started keeping it face down all the time. Classic cheating behavior, right? But I trusted her. Or I was stupid. Probably both. At my bar we have this regular customer. Let's call her Olivia. Not her real name, obviously. Comes in for trivia nights every Wednesday. With her work friends, been coming for years. Always tips well, never causes problems. One of those customers you're happy to see. Works in HR or something. Super nice lady, probably mid-30s. This particular Wednesday, Olivia acting weird as hell. Keeps looking at her phone, then at me, then back at her phone. Between trivia rounds, barely talks to her friends. Not like her at all. Usually super competitive, really into the game. Finally, during break, she waves me over, asks if we can talk privately. Figure, Maybe there's issue with another customer or something work-related. Have this small office near kitchen. Where I do paperwork, take her there. She looks really uncomfortable, like she's about to tell me someone died. I wasn't sure if I should tell you this. She starts fidgeting with her phone case. But I would want someone to tell me. If it was my relationship, turns out Olivia's sister Melody works at this fancy salon downtown, the kind where haircuts cost more than my rent. That morning, Lisa had come in for highlights. Apparently been going to Melody for about a year, always booking appointments when I'd be at work. This time, Lisa spent entire appointment on phone. We're talking like 2 hours, with someone she kept calling babe and baby. Melody could hear everything. When you're doing someone's hair, you're right there after all. Lisa was laughing, making plans for weekend getaway, talking about how her idiot fiancé, yeah, that would be me, would think she was at a real estate conference. I'm standing there trying to process this. Part of me wants to deny it. Maybe it was a girlfriend she was talking to. Some women call their friends babe, right? But Olivia's not done. She pulls out her phone, shows me this Instagram story her sister sent. It's from this fancy restaurant named Bellagio, 2 towns over. Some random person celebrating their engagement. But in background of their champagne toast photo, clear as day, there's Lisa, cuddled up with some guy in an expensive suit. This was from previous Friday, when she told me she was having girls' night with friends. My hands were shaking so bad, could barely hold the phone. Timestamp on story was 9:47 p.m. At 9:52 p.m. that same night, Lisa had sent me selfie of her at home, with face masks with her friends. She had literally staged fake girls' night photo. To cover her date, thanked Olivia. Like, what else do you say? To someone who just blew up your entire life. She apologized probably 20 times. Kept saying she felt terrible. Told her she did right thing. Comped her group's tab for the night. My owner is cool about stuff like that. Went back to work. Had like 5 hours left in my shift. Just running on autopilot. My mind racing. Instead of confronting Lisa right away, decided to do some digging. We had shared iPad at home, mainly used for watching Netflix in bed. Lisa had logged into her iCloud on it. When her phone was getting repaired a few months back, guess she forgot about it. That night after my shift, while she was sleeping at her friend's house. Yeah, right. Opened the iPad, holy shit. There were hundreds of messages between her and her ex, Thomas. Not some random affair. They'd been hooking up at fancy hotel near his office. For months, like since February. The messages were graphic, won't share the details. But it wasn't just sex stuff. They were making fun of me, planning their future together, talking about how they'd do it right this time. The worst part, all her friends knew. Every single one of those successful professionals was actively helping her cheat. The group chat was full of them, giving her advice on how to hide it better, making jokes about my job. At least Thomas can afford a real restaurant. Not just bar food, coaching her on what to say if I got suspicious. They were actually telling her to wait until after wedding to leave me, because she'd get more money in divorce. I screenshotted everything, sent it all to my email, backed it up to Google Drive, even took photos of iPad screen with my phone, just in case. Messages went back months, every girls' night, every work event, every real estate conference. She was with him. Her friends weren't just covering for her. They were actively helping plan these meetups. There was even message from night I proposed. While I was nervously waiting for dinner reservation, practicing my speech in my head, she was texting him. Don't worry, baby, this doesn't change anything. It's just business. You're the one I really love. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat in our living room, reading through 4 months of lies, trying to figure out how someone could be so cruel. How do you sleep next to someone every night, plan a future with them, while actively plotting to destroy them? Next evening, when she came home, from showing houses, another lie. Messages showed she'd been at his place. I was ready. Didn't yell, didn't cry, just handed her iPad, open to their messages. So there I was, sitting in living room. When Lisa came home around 7 p.m., she bounced in all happy, talking about how she showed 3 houses today. Narrator, she did not show any houses that day. Let her ramble for a minute while she put her stuff down. She even had nerve to ask what I wanted for dinner, like everything was normal. I'd spent whole day rehearsing what I was going to say, but when moment came, couldn't even speak, just handed her iPad, already open to her messages with Thomas. She tried playing it cool for about 2 seconds, going, what am I supposed to be looking at? Then she saw date on messages. Literally dropped iPad on our coffee table. Ever see someone's face just change? Their whole mask just drops. That's what happened. She went from confused to panicked to angry in like 5 seconds flat. Started screaming about how I invaded her privacy. Had no right to look at her messages. Like, seriously, that's what you're worried about? I stayed quiet. Thank God for bartender experience and keeping cool. Just kept scrolling through messages. While she freaked out. Got to ones from night I proposed. Handed her iPad again. Read that one out loud? I said. She wouldn't. Started crying instead. But not sorry crying. This was full-on manipulation crying. You know the type. Where they're trying to make you feel bad. For catching them. She kept saying it was just mistake. Didn't mean anything. How Thomas was her past. But I was her future. Spoiler alert. According to messages I'd read. I was her meal ticket. Until she could divorce me for more money. Here's the best part. She actually tried to blame me. Said I was emotionally unavailable. Because I work nights at the bar. Said she was lonely. And Thomas understood better. Because they came from similar backgrounds. Then dropped this gem. If you hadn't gone through my private messages, we could have been happy. That's when I lost my cool a bit. Not yelling, but definitely not calm anymore. Asked her if we could have been happy. While she was letting her friends plan our wedding. And her divorce at the same time. Asked her how many special moments she'd ruined by texting him right after. Our engagement, holidays, birthdays. There were messages to him, within hours of every single one. She switched tactics fast, faster than politician during election season. Suddenly, it was all. But the wedding deposits. My parents already paid for everything. What will people think? Not one word about actually being sorry or loving me. Just worried about money and appearances. I told her wedding was obviously off. Gave her 30 days to move out. Made sure to say, as per our state's tenant laws. Because I'd Googled that during day. Even though she wasn't on lease. She'd lived there long enough to have tenant rights. I was pissed. Not stupid. That's when she pulled out her phone. Figured she was calling her mom or something. Nope. She was texting the group chat. Remember those successful professional friends? Yeah, she was calling in the cavalry. You're going to regret this, she said, typing away. You have no idea who you're messing with? I actually laughed. Like, what was this bad mob movie? Told her she had 30 days to get her stuff and get out. Said I was going to stay at my buddy's place tonight to give her space to pack. If she wanted to start now, started packing bag with some clothes and stuff for work tomorrow. She was still typing away on her phone, crying but also kind of smirking. Should have been my first warning that something was really wrong. I was almost to door when she said, they're already on their way. You should wait to hear their side of this. Now I'm not small guy. I work at bar. Know how to handle myself. If things get rowdy, but something in her voice made hair on back of my neck stand up. Decided to start recording on my phone. Just in case. Thank God I did. Made it about halfway to my car. When I saw them pull into parking lot, all 5 of her friends, in 2 separate cars. 2 lawyers, investment banker, plastic surgeon, chief marketing officer. They weren't dressed for work anymore. Looked like they'd all come straight from gym, and they did not look happy. So there I am in parking lot. 5 angry women getting out of their cars. Lisa watching from our apartment balcony. My phone recording in my pocket. And again, thank God for that decision. I'm trying to decide whether to go back inside or try to get to my car before I can decide. Victoria, the investment banker, starts screaming about how I'm an abusive piece of shit and how they're not going to let me hurt Lisa anymore. Like what? Other 4 spreading out around me. I realize they're trying to block my path to both my car and building's entrance. Diana, lawyer number 1, pulls out her phone, starts recording, saying really loudly, "We're just here to help Lisa get her things safely. No one wants any violence." Meanwhile, Sophia, lawyer number 2, is texting something and grinning like this is all some big joke. The surgeon Christina and marketing officer Natalie just standing there looking nervous, but trying to act tough. I keep my voice super calm, hold my hands up where they can see them. Say, I've given Lisa 30 days notice, as required by law. I'm leaving for night to give her space to pack. Please don't make this situation worse. That's when Victoria decides to get in my face. She's screaming about how they know all about my abuse and how they're not letting Lisa stay another night with a monster like me. I'm literally backing away. Still got my hands up, saying there's security cameras everywhere. and I'm recording this. Please just let me leave." Looking back, mentioning recording was my big mistake. Diana immediately shouts, "He's threatening to release private recordings of Lisa. Get his phone." And that's when everything went completely insane. Victoria lunges for my jacket pocket, where my phone is. I turn to keep her away from it, and Sophia grabs me from behind, like full-on tackles me. I'm 6'1", and she's maybe 5'4", but she played rugby in college, found that out during trial, and knew what she was doing. I end up on ground, with Sophia trying to put me in some kind of hold, Victoria kicking me, and Diana still recording everything. But now she's yelling, "Stop resisting! Why are you fighting back?" Christina and Natalie just watching, looking scared, but not doing anything to help. I'm trying my hardest not to fight back, because I know how this looks. Big guy versus smaller women, just trying to protect my head and not hurt anyone. That's when Lisa comes running out of apartment with, I still get shaky thinking about this, our kitchen knife set. Not just one knife, the whole wooden block of them. She's screaming something about how I need to learn my lesson and starts handing out knives to her friends. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I started panicking. Sophia's still got me in this hold. Victoria's kicking me, and now they've got knives. I managed to get one arm free, pull out my phone, hit emergency SOS button, iPhone feature, click power button 5 times fast. Calls 911 automatically. I start yelling, "Police are coming," as loud as I can, hoping someone in building will hear. Diana, still recording, shouts, "No one will believe you." And then, Jesus, Victoria stabs me. Like actually stabs me. In the arm, not deep because I jerked away, but enough to need 12 stitches later. There's blood everywhere. And I guess that freaks out Christina and Natalie, because they start backing away. Next minute or two is blur. Remember Lisa screaming, "Finish it," from somewhere behind me? Remember Victoria trying to stab me again, while Sophia's yelling, "Hold him still." Then there's sirens. Lots of them. And suddenly parking lot is full of cop cars. Thank God one of my neighbors had seen what was happening and also called 911, so they knew it was serious. Cops arrive with guns drawn, ordering everyone to drop weapons. Victoria and Sophia try to run, but don't make it far. Diana's still recording, refusing to drop her phone, until cop tackles her. Best part, Lisa standing there with knife block, screaming about how I attacked them, and they were just defending themselves. Meanwhile, I'm bleeding all over parking lot, clearly not fighting back, and everything's on at least 3 different cameras. My phone, building security, and Diana's dumbass live stream. Next few hours are kinda blur. Ambulance ride, emergency room, police interviews, lots of photos of my injuries. Turns out, besides stab wound, I had 2 broken ribs, a concussion, and basically looked like I'd gone 10 rounds with UFC fighter. But here's the real kicker. We found out later, while I was in ER, these idiots were at police station, literally arguing with cops about getting their phones back so they could delete some personal stuff. Diana, yes, a lawyer, actually said to cops, "If you look at our group chat, it will be misinterpreted." Next few days after attack were absolutely insane. Spent that first night in ER, getting stitches and treatment. Pro tip, when nurse asks your pain level, and you say like 4 or 5 while having broken ribs, they just assume you're being tough guy and give you good painkillers anyway, LOL. While I was getting patched up, this victim advocate from DA's office shows up. She starts explaining all this legal stuff, but I'm high as kite on whatever they gave me for pain. One thing I remember clearly though, is her saying, "This is most clear-cut case of premeditated assault I've seen in years." She had no idea how right she was. Meanwhile, Lisa and her psycho squad were having their own fun night. At county jail, found out later, they were all put in separate cells because they wouldn't stop, trying to coordinate their stories. Diana, lawyer number 1, kept demanding her 1 phone call, like this was TV show. Sophia, lawyer number 2, tried to pull "Do you know who I am?" card. Victoria, one who stabbed me, apparently had full meltdown when they took her designer jacket as evidence because it had my blood on it. Here's where it gets really good. Remember how Diana was recording everything? She was actually live streaming to their private Instagram group. The cops got warrant for all their phones and social media. They found everything, not just the attack, but months of them planning stuff like this. The group chat was absolute goldmine. These sophisticated professionals had literally written out their plan, Wait for Lisa to provoke me into getting mad. Record me being abusive, aka defending myself. Edit the videos to make me look bad. Oh, file false domestic violence charges. Get me arrested and evicted from my own apartment. Help Lisa move in with Thomas. While I was in jail, wait for wedding date to pass. Have Lisa file for divorce, claiming emotional distress. Use edited videos to get bigger settlement. They had it all planned out, like some kind of psycho PowerPoint presentation. There were even messages about which angles would be best for filming, and who would do what. The best part, they were using their work phones. These geniuses used their corporate phones to plan an assault. But wait, it gets even better. 2 days after attack, while I'm still in hospital, Lisa shows up at my work, starts telling my staff and customers that I'm abusive, that I attacked her friends, that everyone needs to know truth about me. My assistant manager, Dave, shout out to Dave, you're a real one, got it all on security cameras and called cops. She did this 3 more times before cops finally arrested her for violating emergency restraining order they had put in place. Each time she'd bring different friend, Christina and Natalie, who weren't in jail, to witness her telling her story. They filmed it too, probably thinking they were gathering evidence. Spoiler alert, those videos ended up being used against them instead. Then Thomas, remember him? The lawyer boyfriend, gets involved. This genius starts sending threatening emails to me and cops who arrested his girlfriend's friends. We're talking full-on movie villain stuff. You don't know who you're dealing with. I have friends in DA's office. This will all go away if you drop charges. He sent these from his law firm email. A licensed attorney, threatening victim and law enforcement. From his verified work email, the DA's office was practically salivating. When they got those, about week after attack, their high-powered defense attorneys show up for bail hearing, looking like they just walked off TV show set, all confident and smug, talking about their clients' stellar reputations and community standing. Judge was this older guy, looked like he was about to fall asleep during their whole speech. Then prosecutor stands up and just starts dropping bombs. Full security footage from multiple building cameras. My phone recording, Diana's live stream. The group chat messages, screenshots of them Googling things like, how to make self-defense look real. What happens if you stab someone in self-defense? The threats from Thomas, Lisa's harassment at my work, medical records showing defensive wounds only, witness statements from neighbors, the knife with Victoria's fingerprints and my DNA, the judge's face. OMG, he went from sleepy grandpa to stone cold fury in about 2 seconds. Set their bail at $500,000 each. Victoria, Sophia, and Diana had to surrender their passports and wear ankle monitors because they were considered flight risks. Apparently they all had international accounts and properties. Christina and Natalie, the ones who didn't participate in actual attack, got lesser charges and lower bail, but still had to wear monitors. Lisa got hit with conspiracy charges, had to surrender her passport too. But real bombshell dropped about 2 weeks later. Natalie, who had been spiraling since attack, finally cracked. Her lawyer contacted DA's office, saying she wanted to make deal. Turned out she had another group chat that others didn't know about, where they'd been even more explicit about their plans. She had voice messages from Lisa, talking about how they'd practiced attack at Christina's home gym, videos of them discussing how to make it look like self-defense, messages about how they chose my apartment, specifically because they knew where security cameras were and thought they could use footage to their advantage. The best part, she had video of them all celebrating at some wine bar after Lisa got engaged, planning how they'd help her get better divorce settlement. By setting me up, this was from night I proposed. While I was texting our families happy news, they were literally planning how to destroy my life. Trial started in November, about 7 months after attack. Those months were rough. Lisa and her 2 friends who weren't in jail, Christina and Natalie, kept trying to spread lies about me around town. They made fake social media accounts to post edited clips from attack, tried to contact my employees to dig up dirt, even showed up at my parents' house to tell their side of story. My lawyer, provided by DA's office, because this was criminal case, was this tiny woman in her 50s who looked like everyone's favorite aunt, but was scary as hell in court. First thing she told me was, document everything and don't respond to any attempts at contact. So that's what I did. Every fake account, every harassment attempt, Every little thing went into folder. That just made their case worse. The trial itself was surreal. Their defense strategy was interesting. They tried claiming they were protecting Lisa from an abusive relationship, despite zero evidence of abuse, and that they acted in self-defense, despite literally bringing knives to attack me. Their lawyers kept trying to paint me as this violent, controlling boyfriend because I checks notes, caught their client cheating, and asked her to move out. Like what? Their lawyers tried every trick to make me lose my cool, called me liar, suggested I was real abuser, even tried to make it seem like I was homophobic because I didn't want Lisa hanging out with her friends alone. You know, while she was cheating on me. But bartending teaches you to stay calm when people are being assholes, and I just kept telling truth. The prosecution's case was beautiful to watch. They had this huge TV screen set up in courtroom and showed everything in chronological order. Security footage of them arriving at my apartment, spreading out to trap me, my phone recording of them attacking me, Diana's live stream showing them with knives, building security footage of actual attack, police body cam footage of them being arrested, videos of Lisa harassing me at work, screenshots of their group chats planning everything, Thomas's threatening emails, medical photos of my injuries, the knife with Victoria's prints and my blood. But real star was Natalie's testimony. She'd taken plea deal. Smart move, and laid out everything. Told jury how they'd planned this for months, how Lisa had been cheating since before engagement, but wanted to wait for wedding because she thought she'd get more money in divorce. How they'd actually practiced attack at Christina's gym, planning how to make it look like self-defense. The jury's faces during her testimony were priceless. These weren't just some friends who got carried away protecting their friend. This was calculated plan to set me up, get me arrested, and help Lisa scam me in divorce. Then Lisa took stand to defend her friends. Stupid move. Holy shit, what a disaster. The prosecutor let her talk herself, right into confession. She starts out all tearful about how scared she was of me, despite zero evidence, and living with me voluntarily. Then she gets mad. When they show her messages planning attack, starts yelling about how I deserved it. For going through her iPad, the best, worst part, she accidentally mentions that Thomas, remember him? The lawyer boyfriend, had helped her write fake police report about me being abusive. On the stand, under oath, the prosecutor's eyes lit up, like it was Christmas morning. Their defense fell apart after that. Jury took only 6 hours to find them guilty. Victoria, Sophia, and Diana. The stabby squad got convicted of attempted aggravated assault, conspiracy, and bunch of other charges. Christina got convicted of conspiracy and accessory charges. Natalie's plea deal got her just probation, since she testified. The sentencing hearing was something else. Judge was not happy, called it one of most calculated and malicious cases he'd seen in 30 years, said their status as legal professionals made it worse, because they knew what they were doing was wrong. Final sentences. Victoria, Stabby McStabberson, 36 months in state prison. No parole for 24 months. 5 years probation after release. Sophia, rugby tackle lawyer, same as Victoria. Diana, livestream genius, same as Victoria. Christina, nervous doctor, 18 months probation, 300 hours community service. Natalie took the deal, 12 months probation, testimony against others. Lisa still waiting for separate trial, but took plea deal. More on that later. Thomas, oh boy. Wait till you hear what happened to him. They all lost their professional licenses. Lawyers got disbarred, duh. Doctor lost her medical license. Investment banker lost all certifications. Their fancy careers gone. Their reputations destroyed. Their freedom gone for 3 years. We'll update if anything happens. Thanks for reading and comments.